So this should be up there somewhere. It's only like an enormous mountain range. How hard could it be to find exactly where she stood 50 years ago? Arch, 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 arch. Oh my God, there it is. Holy cow. Oh, it lines up too. Look at the tree. Oh, there it is. Wow, actually that's crazy. That hasn't changed almost at all in like 50 years.
My name is Max Romey, and I'm a dyslexic painter traveling the world trying to track down some of the 6,000 sketches that my grandmother left behind. My grandma Lou was an amazing painter who inspired me to paint. She traveled all over the world making these wonderful little sketches that she would fill in later on. And as a dyslexic kid who really struggled with reading and writing, sketching kind of became my voice and a really cool way to connect with the places I traveled to, as well as my grandma. So today I'm in Boulder, Colorado, looking for a sketch of this arch.
That is 1,000 times bigger than I thought it would be. So now comes the hard part of trying to figure out exactly where she was standing.
Even if I'm just 2 or 3 feet off, the tree and the rocks won't quite line up.
I think I need to be there. Maybe she was on top of that rock to make this sketch. Let's see, how do I do this here? I can do this. Shouldn't be this hard. I don't want to grab that poor tree because it's doing a good job. Okay, scamper. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, altitude. Okay, now let's see if this lines up. Oh yeah, there we go. She was definitely like right here.
Now that I've found the spot, it's time to make myself a coloring book. But before I get lost in this painting, more sunscreen. Safety first, especially when you have an Alaska tan.
There we go. I'm gonna put a little person in mine, I think. So it's kind of fun seeing what she was thinking about when sketching this, because it is just so big. It's hard to sketch something you can't see everything all at once. Down and up. She would always say that painting is like half looking.
The pen outlines are so similar, it's almost like they could have been done on the same day, aside from the tree, which is a bit more bushy. But my favorite part is filling it in with color. It feels like I can paint in the past almost. It's magic watching it come to life.
This, and then this, and then in real life, the best painted version.
Now, the reason we're in Colorado is because we're going to go show our film at this big film festival, but if we're lucky, we might be able to find some of these sketches along the way.
So this one says south towards Golden, and I'm going south towards Golden, but the mountains don't quite line up. But it's also wild to be following literally a sheet of paper with just a really quick sketch on it as a full-on map. But if you're just even a little bit accurate, and she really was, then I should be able to find kind of where it is. And I feel like we are so close. This kind of looks like, I mean, you've got these sort of like little low hills, but also like that mountain's way further away, and this one doesn't make sense. I don't think this is quite it. Maybe, let's get higher. I feel like if I get higher, then maybe I can see it there.
It hurts to be so close.
There's that, but that mountain's not in the right spot. Where are you, Lou?
Sometimes you find it, and sometimes, well, you just have to move on. Especially when you're running late to get to a film festival. So we headed up the highway all the way to Telluride, where we were gonna show this film and hopefully get a few more of these sketches found, which we knew were somewhere between Golden, Colorado and Arizona.
I'm trying to find this one spot. I'm hoping somebody recognizes the mountains or something.
I feel like this is around Telluride, on the road to Breckenridge.
Leadville?
Georgetown?
Yes.
I don't know.
Georgetown.
This is a question for you.
Oh,
Do you have any idea where somewhere like that would be? So where do you think this is?
The town of Ouray would be in the distance.
On your way to Independence Pass.
I think it might be the Schmidt family ranch.
On the Collegiate
I
Peaks.
think it's somewhere on Hastings Mesa.
There's that road that goes up toward Twin Lakes.
Jim was saying that might be Long's,
What is this mountain?
but I don't know. I don't know where this cabin is. But it must have. This is 30 years ago. 50 years
50
ago.
years ago. I was around back then.
Hey, you put enough monkeys on enough typewriters. Maybe it works for maps.
These two matching hillsides. You have this hillside here and then the ridge above it. So if this foreground hillside and that hillside matched up.
Okay, I feel the most confident about this so far.
Convincing?
I'm pretty convinced.
I just made that up.
Okay, let it be said, if Jim is right, Jim gets a painting. Just say it now and then.
Yes.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. And with that, we were off to chase a hillside above a little town called Marble. Marble is a town in Colorado founded in 1881 with a big historical impact because of these pure white marble deposits that were discovered along Yule Creek. Some of the most famous monuments we see today originated right here. But our only real connection was from a friend of a friend who used to work here at this cool old lodge, which is what led us to Karen.
I think this might be a building that's down here. So if we walk down the street here,
Okay,
find that.
cool. Karen and her friend had a lot going on that day, but they basically dropped everything to help us find that sketch, which is amazing because if we were going to find the sketch, we needed a lot of help. We knew we were in the right area because we recognized the mountain, but aside from that, it could be anywhere. It's the coolest thing when you end up actually in the same place as the same, like it's like a time machine
Right there.
made out of paper.
The
Oh,
shed.
do you think so?
Right over here.
Oh, so you think maybe that's the outhouse there? That's a similar angle, you're right. And we have clapboard, clapboard, clapboard. And there would have been a tree here.
Ah, it's almost like she's right here.
Yeah.
Well,
The problem with finding a sketch so old is that so much could have happened. Houses could have burned down, whole forests could have grown up. But just as I was about to write this one off, I'm almost wondering,
you know what? That could be Darian's ranch. There are a bunch of old cabins there. That one doesn't look super familiar, but that could be there.
Interesting.
I'm game.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on in. Interesting. So it's time to pile in the van and head towards some ranch?
Darien Ranch, an operating ranch. They have some old cabins.
We were getting really close now. The mountain was lining up, the valleys were lining up.
Okay, so there you see.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, you're
Yes,
right. Look
that
at
right
that.
there.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Okay.
The problem is that this place was huge.
Let's just walk down the road.
So cool.
Maybe if we wandered around long enough, we'll be able to find it. But that could take hours, and we were running out of daylight. And so as we pulled out to see if we were getting close, I had all of these worries going through my head. Like, what if it had burned down? Or what if the ranch was on private property and we found it but we weren't allowed in? Or what if they had just bulldozed the whole thing to make a golf course and condos? And it was looking like this pullout was gonna be another dead end. But just as we were about to head back...
Hey, Larry, Karen, good. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm doing all right.
All right. You know what? This is your man right here.
This is
Do
my
you have
man?
a
Hi.
second?
I'm Max.
Hi, Max. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
So-
Max.
Hi, Greg.
Good to meet you.
Hi, Greg, Karen.
My grandmother
Nice to meet
sketched
you.
50 years ago, and I'm trying to find the exact location where she made the painting. And we're trying to use this as like a map. So the mountains and everything will only line up in one spot.
Yeah, I can show you.
Do you know where this is?
Sure.
This was the understatement of the century, or at least half a century. Larry knew where this sketch was made because this was his family ranch. And I was waiting to see if there were condos or a forest had grown up. Anything that could have changed in the last 50 years. But nothing could have prepared me for what we found. Oh my gosh, is this it?
Yeah, over here.
What? This is crazy.
No, this is it.
Wow.
It's totally the cabin. The
That's
outhouse.
amazing. Horses are still there? No kidding. We were wondering, we were like, I wonder if there's still gonna be horses there after 50 years. Glad there are.
They are.
That's absolutely incredible.
You need to give
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. It looked like nothing had changed, including the horses. Not only had we found the location of Lou's elusive sketch, but the sketch before it appeared to be from the same place, just a different angle. There it is. Holy cow. Literally standing in her footprints right now. It's a surreal feeling to paint in the sketch that she started 5 decades ago. But we were still looking for that one big main sketch. I mean, we were in the right area, but we weren't in the right spot. Yet. My dad had said she'd often look for the best place to sit, the coziest rock or tree, or maybe bench. There's this wild piece of marble that looked like something straight out of the Lincoln or Washington Memorial. Maybe a little bit more scuffed, a little bit less polished, but it looked like a great place to paint.
There's this.
Now it's just a matter to see if everything lined up.
That's the one.
And it turns out that this slab of marble could have been destined for DC, but took a slightly different route off the train car.
The railroad used to run through the ranch here, and so we pulled a lot of these in from the, off the railroad grade. You can see that they're broken on the end and stuff, so they didn't have a lot of room up here for, the scrap, so they would haul it down and just dump it off the side of the train.
And then it makes a good place to sit too. Huh.
Oh yeah.
I always think of art supplies as paint, paper, and pens, but sometimes it's what's under your butt that counts too. And really, it was pretty incredible that this was under my butt at all. Bench, ranch, everything here.
Wow. This is amazing.
In a world of profit and condos and housing developments, it feels rare to find a place like this that hasn't changed in so long. And having seen this, well, I'll be honest, I think I might have misjudged a lot of ranches, just assuming that they were there to get something out of the land instead of be part of it.
Here we go. Yes.
Basically we're the only ranch up here. The old barn over here was built in the 1890s, and my family bought it in 1938. And we're been here ever since, and we built the cabins. We've always enjoyed having people come and stay with us here. So, it's pretty much the same. We try to keep it like it is. Up here, there's nothing like it. I did a conservation easement on most of the property so that won't be built on. Don't want to see it ruined.
There's something magical about being able to sit in the same place my Grandma Lou did and sketch something that had barely changed at all in the 50 years in between. The trees have grown up, but everything else is pretty much exactly the same. And I guess you could say it's the same for me. I'm a little bit taller, but underneath it all, I'm still that same little kid who just wants to go sketch with his grandma.
I wonder if she did the same thing, stood up just to look.
And I still can. It just takes a little bit more of an adventure. But with only a handful left to find, I was so excited to finish up this book. I mean, how hard could finding these last few be?
That's not it at all. Maybe further off than I was.
Maybe if I go further down? I think it's back down there. Shoot. Maybe if I walk right to the edge. Okay, maybe it was a little harder than I originally thought. Okay. I had almost found one of these sketches before, just while driving down the highway. So this time I had promised myself that I was actually going to get out of the car and track one of these down, if the thunderstorms allowed it, because it would mean so much to have found every spot that you sketched in at least one sketchbook before I had to head home. This'll make it exciting. Can I find the sketch before the lightning finds me?